Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of our pre-sale talks. My name is Vincent Lim. I'm here with Jackson. Once again, we're happy to bring you another video of the current update of what's going on in the pre-sale landscape. I think the previous videos we talked about the basic with contracts, kind of just the overview. So if you're interested in that, we have a link right below in our description. But today, I think we really want to touch base on pricing and where kind of the pre-sale market is going, is because just within the last, I would say, a month and a half.
Yeah.
We know the resale market has been very active, but we've saw a pre-sale. We went from a bit of a slum a little bit, and now it's picking up in a fast pace in terms of, I guess, pricing.
For sure.
Right?
I think from our first episode till now, I think the landscape for pre-sales has completely changed. But I think that's also due to just in general, the market has changed quite a bit, right? When we first started talking about this, you had a lot more options in the market.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
I think you could go to different pre-sale centers or different developers and you would have kind of your pick at that point. I mean, I think we started our first one probably late last year. So very different landscape in terms of how things have played out right now. We're at a point where it's actually hard to get something that you want now compared to last year. Yeah,
and it wasn't that long. It's not really long. Like I would say 4 or 5 months, right?
Yeah, I think the change I would say has been even shorter than that. Yeah, it has been even shorter than that.
Okay, when you said harder to let's just say harder to get, is it less projects are coming out or harder to get the product when the project launches?
Yeah, I think I would think that it's harder to get the product that you want when the project launches. I think we're going to see more and more project launches this year because prices have increased as well.
Right.
So developers are more they want to launch right now because things are moving faster. Things are moving at an increased price compared to last year. Right. For last year, I think going into a very soft launch for a large tower project, it makes it very difficult for developers because they need to hit their pre-sale targets, right? Something that we talked about in our previous talks, right? Like developers need to hit pre-sale targets for them to be able to start construction and get to the next phase of their project.
Right.
So in this current environment, they're able to hit that at launch pretty much now, or even what we call pre-launch, right? Like early access and friends and family. I think there's just so much demand at the moment for real estate in general and not just pre-sale.
So I guess like the question here is like I think a lot of buyers or whatnot, again, new to pre-sale, maybe they've only followed the resale market. Do you think this has correlation to the resale market, what's happening? Obviously you're seeing multiple offers
For
happening,
sure.
but do you think the last like couple months this has kind of taken effect with the pre-sale, or is it complete two different things?
I think the way we see it is that when the resale market is so hot that you can't get anything, we call it FOMO, right? Like the fear of missing out on property becomes very real in their minds. It's a psychological effect, right? It's kind of funny how it goes. When there's a lot to choose from, it seems like our clients don't want to buy it. But all of a sudden, when there's nothing to choose from,
that's usually what happens.
And then everybody wants to pile into the market, right? We're seeing multiple offers on the detached side, which then slowly moves over to the condos and townhomes, right? When we start, I think 2 weeks ago, I wrote on 22 offers on a house. People start getting priced out. When price jumps that much, people start getting priced out of detached homes, and that slowly pushes up everything else, right? But I think if we're just talking about apple to apple, let's say condos to condos, there's not much supply on the condo market even. In prime areas, like we're talking about, your metro towns, your Brentwoods, Olympic Village, downtown, there's still not much supply in the current market. Right?
Absolutely.
So I think that forces buyers to be, okay, well, if I can't get something right now, I want something in the future that I can complete on.
I would probably maybe say too that like, do you think it comes with like, I think frustration of like, some people that might not, they might not need the home at this minute, but they do have, let's just say, the funds to buy the home now, but they're losing out in multiple offers on the resale side, and it pushes them to frustration. You know what? I necessarily might have less confidence. I think we'll touch base on that, but we don't have to, compete with like maybe 10 or 15 offers to go and get in a pre-sale.
Yeah, I mean, at least on the pre-sale side, I think, again, like a few years ago when we hit the last kind of run up on the pre-sales, at least you walk into the door knowing a price that you're gonna pay for that, and you're willing to pay it. I think that's why, pre-sale gets busy again, and we're in a market where, we're back to trying to get early access to projects and using our relationships with developers to get product, right? Versus again, 6 months ago, we could have walked into almost any project and get a price list. But now it doesn't work like that, right? Now it's like, okay, we're going to give you starting prices. By the time you guys come in, we'll have kind of set prices for you, right? But I think going back to, not having to compete in a blind bidding process makes pre-sale attractive in that sense, right? At least hey, like, I know I'm willing to pay this number. This is what we're going to write at. And after we can calculate all the fees and everything, and we know that that's our price.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good option for, I think, some buyers out there. That could be an option for them. But I think on the flip side too, because the pre-sale market's so hot, I think that there's one thing that I think buyers should also be aware is they coming into the presentation center, they seeing the price of today. Today, is there a chance of them missing out? Let's just say, hey, Jackson, I decided, we're gonna think about it. They come back tomorrow or 2 days later. Would the price change?
Yeah, it's funny. It definitely can, right? It's like price changes are solely up to the developer's discretion. They can change it while you're at the PC. Right? Like there's no set range. Clients have asked us, like, is this legal? 100%, right? Like, the developer has all the rights to change pricing, to change incentives at any given point in time, right? If things are moving fast, you could see price changes every single day at the same project. So, we've sold at projects where, the first home we sold was at $569.9, and the last home we sold for the same floor plan could be at $659.9. Like, the range is huge, right? It really depends on how quickly things are moving. So I think I would say our advice to clients at that point is, if you go in that day and the home that you like or want is available, we can make an offer. We can write the contract up. Just keep in mind, you still have 7 days for rescission, right? Like, once you put that contract in place, then the price cannot change. The terms cannot change after that, right? I think, again, let's go back again, preparation, right? If you're prepared, you have your bank draft, you have your deposits ready, you don't really have a downside risk to writing that contract that day, right? Versus your risk is it could be sold to the next person. Or the price can increase by 15, 20,000.
I think that's so important for our viewers and buyers that, comes down to pre-sale. It is a whole different thing when you buy a resale, and it's having the right representation, right, for you to navigate those things that you just mentioned. That I think a lot of buyers think that once they sign the contract, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can get my deposit back. Even though I have the 7-day rescission, I still want to think about it. But I feel like the 7 days is for you to think about it. It's for you to read over what are your disclosure statements or whatnot to actually prepare you. But also you need the preparation before that.
Before
you can guidance.
Before you can even get in there, be comfortable enough to write. Because it might feel very stressful.
Very rushed.
Right. Actually, at this point, it's going to feel extremely rushed. Like, hey, Jackson, like, we literally just walked through the presentation center. You show me the floor plans, but I have to make a decision now? Like, how would we make these decisions, right? I think, again, having that 7-day rescission period is for you to go home, talk to your family, really get a good feeling and understanding of what you're getting into, right? Versus I think regret, like
Yes.
regret of, okay, I should have done it, but I come back tomorrow and either it's gone or the price is more than what I could pay now, right? So again, preparation of before even going into there.
Yeah. Talking about that, I think that there is another experience that I had was, you know, like buyers going into view these projects on their own.
Yeah.
And, you know, they don't notify their agent or they don't find, and they think about it. And when the time that they decide to sign, the price might have changed.
Yes.
The salespeople can only keep you up to date to a certain degree.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So it goes back to like if you were to let your agent know or the person that's representing you, they obviously should be doing their job to know some insider info or like a tip off of could be a potential price change.
Sure.
You got to make sure you make your move fast.
Of
course. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think we get that from a number of developers and sales staff that we know throughout the city, right? Where it's like, hey Jackson, like just to give you a heads up, the home that you're looking at, potential price increase coming tomorrow. Yeah. So if you are going to make a decision, you should make it quicker. Yeah. Right. Versus again, like you walking in, the sales staff for the developer are dealing with hundreds of people. Yeah. They're not going to be like, oh yes, I remember you, and I'm going to keep in touch with you, because they have so many people to deal with, right? Yeah. Versus for us, like we know our clients very well. We know exactly what their situation is and how well they've been prepared going into it, right? So you're absolutely right. I think having the right representation going in, it could cost you or get you the home that you want.
It's and then also the cost of difference, it could be scary. It could be
100%.
$10K to $50K,
Sure.
$60K.
Yeah. But it's also not just money. It might just be a complete loss of the potential to get that home in general, right? If that home that you really wanted is sold to another party, there's nothing you can do for it. Not even if you're willing to pay more money at that point, right?
That's exactly it. It's done. It's a done deal, right? Yeah. Okay, so like now that we know that the pre-sale landscape is hot. Are they still giving out? Is there still incentives happening or like?
Yeah, I think in the last few projects that we've kind of visited, I think it's still very standard for developers to be offering early access incentives, like first, percentage of homes, first number of homes. There might be a buyer's incentive. Yeah. They might be throwing in a free locker or something like that, or an upgrade that you can get. I think it's funny. It's like buyers think that because there's incentives, nobody is buying it. Mm-hmm. Right, and I think we'd like to address that. That's a good point. That's not the truth, right? Like developers are offering incentives because it's kind of the norm right now. Yeah. Right. Yes. But it's also factored into the price that you pay. 100%. Right. I think it all comes from the same place. I think we can touch on this. It's like, let's say some projects have been selling for quite some time. They've got remaining homes left over, and they're offering a huge incentive, like $50,000, $75,000. But in reality, they have priced that into the price that they're selling it to you at, right? I think we can be very upfront with our viewers and our clients that like that's the truth of it, right? Is that they've increased the price significantly from the start of launch time till now, that they can offer that incentive, right? It doesn't mean that you're getting a huge discount, right? Again, I think these things are psychological. Yeah.
It's marketing.
It's marketing, right? It's marketing, right? Like it's, if you see a huge incentive in the email that they blast out, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna open it, right? So I think each project will be different, right? Just because they're offering an incentive does not mean that project is not selling. Yeah. Right, because we just went to an early access preview. There's early access incentives right at the beginning. 100%. Right. Yeah. And going back to it, the developer can take that away at any time. Yeah. Right. Like they might say, "Yep, the cutoff is now," and you might be the next person in line to get that, but you may not get an incentive anymore. Yeah. So I think again, keeping in mind that things can change at any point.
Yeah, I think that. Also, talking to the right representative of regarding the incentive, because sometimes the incentive might look good, but is it in calculation? Is it a good deal? Right? Because I feel like I feel like there's a lot of times where the buyers just walk in, no representation. Yes. the salespeople there are just doing their job.
Yes.
They're gonna sell you that unit, but really you got to look into the details. It's like, okay, these incentives are going in, but does it make sense?
For sure.
Right?
Let's just throw an example up there, right? Like there's $100,000 incentive, but we know after taking a look at it that place is overpriced by $250,000.
Yeah.
So is our client actually winning?
Yeah.
Or gaining anything by getting a $100,000 incentive?
Yeah.
No, not really. You're still overpaying by X amount after the fact.
And I feel like it could be maybe one of the units that are like maybe not that great of a layout or different view
for sure,
or whatnot, but they're just like slashing the prices down for that. Yeah. And you're thinking, oh, this is such a good deal, maybe $1 per square foot.
Yes,
But what exactly are you getting?
Correct. I think we see that where it's like, where it's like the price per square foot looks amazing on that home, but it's because that home has a weird layout or there's a lot of wasted space. Yeah. Right. So, homework, due diligence, working with the right people. Yeah. Right. I think.
Yeah. I think we're gonna wrap up this video soon, but I feel like we just really want to touch base on just kind of like the quick landscape of how hot this pre-sale market is, and just to kind of get the viewers where everything's going and at. But I think that the main point we want to drive is, since it's like, the market's hot pre-sale, we got to do more due diligence. We got to do more homework. Yes. So Jackson, would you give us like at least maybe one or two pieces of advice to wrap this up? At the end of the day, is like, what are the things that to help navigate this buyers like currently, like let's just say if they want to go to a presentation center next week, that is like, simple things that they can do or prep themselves?
For sure. I think like what we do is we get the floor plans early. Get the get the layouts, get the floor plans, get the lay of the land early before you even go in there. That way you already have an idea. Be like, hey, I know exactly. I'm here to just really see the finishes, the features, kind of where the unit will be situated in the building. But you already know going into, okay, I'm looking for this plan and this plan. These are the only ones I'm really interested in. At that point, it also makes us easier to work with in terms of the sales staff, because the sales staff be like, oh yeah, you already know exactly what you want. You've done your homework. I like that. It makes us easier to work with as well, right? Because keep in mind, like we just said, the sales staff are dealing with hundreds of agents. If you're not going in with ready with your homework done, they don't want to have to go through every single floor plan. Be like, oh, is your client interested in a 1-bed, 2-bed, 3-bed townhome, right? Like there's so many floor plans. If we've already pre-prepped them, be like, yes, I'm looking for a B plan on this floor, this range, you've just moved to the top of their list in terms of.
It also comes with building the rapport.
Yeah,
right.
100%. Yeah, because the sales staff matters. Yeah, that rapport with the sales staff matters, because at the end of the day, we need someone to get us the home as well, right? So if they know that your client is a strong candidate and it's not a wishy-washy, oh, I'm still thinking about it. It puts you at the top of the priority list. And again, in this market where things are moving fast, you need to be prepared.
Yeah. And I think that getting proper representation is like our job, like Jackson and myself, we're here to fight for our clients. Yes. Especially if it's competitive or whatnot, we want to make sure, we're looking out for them and getting the unit that they essentially want.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. Getting the right place, getting the right access and talking to the right people. Yeah. I think those are important things. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you find this video very with value and with the right advice, that if there's some questions that you have, that we have answered them. But anyways, we're fully available, Jackson and myself, where we can be reached at any time. So if you have any questions or are interested in any other projects, we have a big network that we can get access to,
for sure,
and get all that information from. Right?
And again, thank you for following us and watching our videos, and we hope that we're providing good content and knowledge for not just our clients, but just anybody who's interested in real estate and pre-sale. And we hope that we're providing transparent and good advice, and hopefully people can gain some knowledge from this.
We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.